Guys, it's me, KB. Welcome to episode 14 of the Hazard to Glory. Today's episode, what you're seeing are our highlights from our first Fut Champs finals. Now, did we do well, or did we have a bad game? Well, let me tell you, as you're seeing from the highlights, we've lost the first game. And our second opponent had the purple evolution, which means that they've reached level 39 in the season ladder. And we didn't have the best start. I will say that much. But I can already tell this is our first finals in FC25, and the level of opponent as we face another player that has the purple evolution 5 in the back this time. But the difference in player skill level from 24 to 25 in Fut Champs it's different. There's a big stretch in this one, and this is the first game where I actually started to feel how good Haaland can be. I think overall, from our first Fut Champs finals, the games that we play as, we do manage to win. Our first game here that you're seeing, we're 3-1 up right now. And my opponent gets a yellow card with Ollie Watkins, just a stupid challenge, and then straight away he slides right into the back of me, and he gets the second yellow, gets sent off with Ollie Watkins, and then he quits, and that's it. And that's our first win. So, I'll tell you what, like I've been mentioning, the level change is insane. And I'm just thinking, looking originally, because it's 15 games, and the level that rewards they give, they're pretty good. And I was looking at, I'm like, yeah, man, if we can get 8 or 9, that would be amazing. If we manage to get there, any more than that, I feel is just, we take it as like as a bonus almost. But I think minimum what I believe that we can accomplish, bare minimum, is I think 7. I think anything less than 7. Almost be calling it not a failure per se, more a disappointment, as I do think it is very possible, and that we can get 7 wins from 15 games. That's pretty much just 1 win for a loss, almost. Like 15 games, 7 wins, 7 losses. There's 14. You got 1 game left. So I do feel like when we do qualify for Fut Champs, and I don't know if we'll do it every week. At this rate, the way that we are playing in Rivals, we are on course to qualify again. So, if that does happen, then we'll just qualify as much as we can. And we'll just keep playing and see what we can do, and see if we can qualify, and see if we can, reach, as I mentioned, probably bare minimum 7 wins. As the rewards for 7 are, they're decent. They are decent. They're not the best, they're not amazing, they're not incredible, they're not game-changing, but I feel they are enough where you almost feel that was worth it. If you want to put it that way, you almost say, well, that weekend playing those games, unnecessary stress over those games, was worth it. But as you're seeing, there is like a constant in my game that I need to work on. And this game is evident as we do get torn apart. I think it ended like 6-0, and I'm just like, well, I'm just not putting the rest of the goals in because I just gave up. But it's our defending. Our defending is just, it's not up to par. There are a few little like meta moves that a lot of players do, but at the end of the day, if you're not playing well, you're not playing well, and you don't want to blame anything but yourself. And other than, say, 1 or 2 games that we lost, we definitely were the better player when we won, and the worst player when we lost. So other than like I said, the 1 or 2 games. Also, this guy here, he's got 4 Australian cards, 4 evolution cards in his squad. This guy was an insane player. He was an insane player. He just... I just couldn't stop him. Mainly his card that really tore me apart was his Odegaard. His Martin Odegaard was so good, and he raced to a 4-0 lead, and I'm just like, man, I just can't hang with this guy. Heung-min Son hits the bar. Did I like Son this weekend? I mean, honestly, I don't know if I was playing too one-dimensional with him and just trying to abuse his finish shot plus, but I don't think Son was amazing, per se. In the last episode at the end, you did see we packed Antoine Griezmann, so I don't know. I think Griezmann seems to be able to play better than Son. Haaland, again, touching on those two strikers. And this goal that we scored here is just so cheesy as you look. It's just bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. And we did manage to get a goal. And then his goal is a rebound, and that's, you know, there are a lot of goals being scored right now in the game that are just rebounds. And EA do need to work on stopping rebounds, because it is just unbelievable how much rebounds there are in the game right now. And how often goals are scored. It's just not even... It's not even on the keeper, the way the keeper's saving, because the keeper's saving, or the animation is looking like they're saving how they should be. And it's almost like before the shot's taken, the game has decided, doesn't matter where this keeper saves his shot, their player, their attacker, is going to get to the ball before your defender. And it just happens so much. This guy... Look, there's another example of that rebound shot. As you see, it was almost like the goal was a given that the ball's just going to bounce back to where he is sitting. This guy, though, that we played, he was good. He was insanely good with the LB or L1, depending what console you play on, sprint boost. He just mastered that to a T, especially with his evolution Lookman. Beautiful goal we scored there by Cole Palmer, and 5-2 up after 50 minutes. I'm like, man, that's game over. Literally from kickoff, sprint boost again, and top corner he scores, and I'm like, okay, it might get a bit dicey. Another sprint boost by Lookman. Tried to bait him with the keeper movement, because I haven't really moved the keeper that much, but he read it and he managed to score. But we did hold on for that one. That shot by Guti, man, Guti looks to be a good card, and the base hero doesn't get awarded to you in Fut Champs until you reach, I think it's 9 wins, is when you get the max 87. And then the just normal the normal overall hero is 10 wins. Do I think we can get 10 wins? Yeah. I think eventually we can get 10 wins. This guy, his Diogo Jota just tore me apart. And you're seeing, like, you know, a pattern in the teams that we come up against. They're not out of this world teams. They're not teams that you see and you're like, man, I'm going to have trouble like playing this game, doing anything against this guy. But it's really not the case at all. Haaland, again, to touch on Haaland, his finishing is really good. Anything other than that, I don't think Haaland's great. For being the joint highest rated card in the game, he doesn't feel like it. He's got a good finish on him, but other than that, he doesn't blow me away. This opponent, this game was just... I thought that we would have won this game. We were playing so well. Again, Griezmann against us, 65th minute, he manages to score. And then we go into extra time and he just scores with Swanson. I mean, I thought I defended that not too bad. That shot, yes, it's green timed, but I had 2 players trying to block that shot. And we couldn't get there in the end. So we did finish, as I mentioned, on 7 wins out of 15. Some of these packs that you're seeing here are from Squad Battle rewards as well. I was going to record the rewards being opened live, but I won't lie, I was a little bit heated after the Fut Champs results, and I just thought, man, I don't want to come on camera and just talk like I'm triggered while I'm trying to open these rewards, because it just won't, I won't be the best to watch. It'll be not fun watching it. You'll just be like, man, what is he doing? And it's not fun watching that when someone just doesn't seem like they're enjoying themselves. But we did get a big walkout. It is 88 Diani. And when I packed her, I thought, oh, maybe she's worth a fair bit because it's pack's tradable. She's really not. She's really not. She's like 15k of that. She's got decent play styles. Technical and flair is good, as well as Travella. But I can't see her getting into the starting 11. I think Ella Ryan, who I struggled a little bit to get a hold with, but the more we played with him, the kind of more I started to click with him. and I switched to the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, wide, sorry, with Hazard on the left mid coming in inside forward. And I think, I don't mind it, but I think I might change formation to the 4-1-3-2, 4-3-1-2, almost. I just feel the centre mid being a centre mid and not a cam, I feel will give us a bit more defensive support, which we do need. Because as I mentioned, the amount of times we just got hit on the counter, or just our defense was just, it felt like wide open, and it felt like our DM was not doing the job that he needs to do. Having Thuram in DM, he only has holding plus, not holding plus plus, and I do believe that roles, especially roles plus plus, play huge, like it's a huge difference. It plays a lot in this game. And you know, we get two of the 185 and 286 player individual packs. When I saw these, I'm like, I can almost guarantee I'm getting an 85 from the 85 plus and two 86s from both of the 86 pluses. And I can confirm that is exactly what we got. So we got Katie McCabe on the 85 plus guarantee. The first 86 plus guarantee, I saw right back, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Trent, but it wasn't, it was German. It's Joshua Kimmich, who is down to an 86 from an 88 from FC25. And I was like, well, that first one's not too great. There's already duplicate, so it will be fodder. And I'm like, well, maybe the second 86 plus player pack will be a plus. It wasn't. As I mentioned, it's another 86. And I saw right back again, and I'm thinking, oh, we're going to get Kimmich again. We got Danny Carvajal, who's really not any better. I don't think I used him in this game, but he doesn't look the best. Like, he's got decent pace, decent defending, but with, as I mentioned, the amount of times that the L1 sprint boost is used in this game, you need like pacey players everywhere to deal with it. And unless EA can bring a patch that kind of nerfs it a bit more, because it is still insanely overpowered. Not as overpowered as it was, but it is still very, very overpowered. And the last pack there was just dreadful. But I did almost forget to put these ones in at the end. So we did finish a few more levels in the season ladder, getting the Swedish striker Shallan on loan, as well as an 85 double and an 85 triple pack. So I'm thinking, well, you know what? Let's just open these now. Shallan looks good, and we might, you know, put her into a position where she can play Fut Champs for us, maybe a few games loan, because we do have her on loan. And the loans, you know, you just get given to them, so you may as well use it. You don't want them just sitting in the club the whole year. I get waiting for the perfect time to use them, but there really isn't never a perfect time to use them. So I'm thinking maybe even next time we qualify for Fut Champs, we just use it then. But you are going to see the two 85 guarantees. So the first one is the 85 double, and I can already tell by that hair, I'm like, that's Bukayo Saka, 100%. And it is Bukayo Saka. It's not a double walkout, but I thought, man, I'm like, Foden's worth, well, he's dropped a lot, but he was worth a lot. Palmer's not worth anything, but I'm like, Saka might be worth, you know, a little bit. He doesn't have heaps high stats anywhere, but he's got well-rounded everywhere else, and he's got finesse shot. So he might, you know, be worth a little bit. And we actually get Cole Palmer in the pack as well. Bukayo Saka is not worth anything. He's like 15k, so I'm like, oh, fair enough. But I'm like, man, he does have good stats everywhere. He won't play for us. Technical and flair together is good. Inside forward, plus and right wing, just like Phil Foden. And Phil Foden's not even in the starting 11. So a player that's worse than him is not going to get in there. But having said that, there's one more pack, which is the 85 by 3. And I'm like, well, if we can get a double walkout here, that'd be nice. And it was a double walkout, I'll tell you that much. I saw English right wing, and I'm like, well, it's not Saka again. Give us Lauren James. We still don't have Lauren James. It's Bethmead. And it was a double, as I mentioned. And it's Emilio Martinez. But not only was this 85 by 3 a double walkout, it was actually, as you see the pack open, it was not in fact just a double walkout. It was actually a triple walkout. And we get Kachawi in there too. And I thought, man, Kachawi's going to be worth something, because I know Martinez and Mead's not. Maybe Kachawi's worth something. She's not. But, you know, 3 decent players out of that pack. It was an 85. So the fact that we get 287 and an 88, says more often than it doesn't, right? But that's our Fut Champs finals gameplay and rewards done. I thought for the first Fut Champs of the year, it was decent. But that's it for them. Let's get into the live section and see some more upgrades.
Alright guys, so basically what's happened is that the recording that I had for this part, where I'm showing you some new cards, before we finished, the storage of the computer was filled, so we weren't able to actually properly record this part. So I'm just redoing a voiceover for what you're seeing on the screen. What you are seeing on the screen is a couple of players that we packed. Elmas being the first one. These cards were unfortunately packed off console, which is why there is no recording for that live. Dembele was also packed, who does seem to be a really good card. I didn't actually realize that he is actually about 40k, 50k, 60k. So that's fair enough. But look, he's always been a good card, Dembele, but I just don't know if he'll be able to crack the starting 11. A card that is going to crack the starting 11, though, is the next card, which is Nico Barella. He does seem to be insanely good, Nico Barella. He's got a lot of good playstyles. Relentless Plus being the most important, and Ping Pass probably the most important playstyle in passing besides Tiki Taka. Not overpowered per se. Long Ball Pass Plus is definitely the most overpowered. Long Ball Pass in general as well. His half-winger plus role is a bit of a put-off though, unfortunately, but we are going to try him there, as you will see later in the video where you see the statistics, the tactics, and the new formation that we are going to go with. But the next player is absolutely massive. He's tradable. That's true. The next player that you're going to see, unlike Barella, who is untradeable, it is William Saliba. We actually managed to pack William Saliba. This card was out of I think it was one of the marquee matchup packs, I think. And Barella was from one of the upgrades, which is just annoying. I can't remember where Dembele was from. Being untradeable, it probably was another one of the upgrade packs that I was just opening on the web app or companion app. And Saliba, I don't think we came against him in the Champions finals of the week, but William Saliba is an incredible looking card. Only two playstyles, one being Jockey, the other being Anticipate Plus. But the most important part of Saliba, and what I think is going to make him so overpowered, and a lot of the pros are talking about how overpowered he is the Defender Plus role. I think that's the most important part of why Saliba is used by a lot of the pros and will flourish probably pretty well as being used in our team as well. We are heading to the store here. Again, it's a bit anticlimactic talking about this, when it's already been opened and I know what's coming. But we are just showing a few packs here. I may as well with the Primal Legend pack. I think this one is just Eze. But the next few packs that you will be seeing are two of the Team of the Week player packs. And then another pack that will be coming up after that is I believe it's the 85x3, I think it was, or the 86. No, it was the 86 double walkout guaranteed pack, I think. So right here are the two Team of the Week player packs, 1 to 5. I do love these Team of the Week repeatable player packs. I do think keeping it as it is with the requirement that is needed is fair, as long as they introduce the player pick version as alongside of it, may be tradable. But the first time we get an 84, and getting untradeable non-duplicate Team of the Weeks is always great as well, as when you get untradeable ones, beg your pardon, that aren't duplicates already, then it's a bit of a pain. But the second one, I was actually very surprised on who we managed to get. We actually managed to get Inform Karim Benzema. So that was a welcome surprise. And Karim Benzema is an insane looking card. The only problem he has on his card is pace. Pace being 79, and pace being so important. Again, it is mostly unfortunate when pace is so important in these games, but it does seem to be very, very important again in FC25. However, he does have great shooting stats. He actually has the finesse shot trait, finesse shot playstyle, beg your pardon, and incisive pass. He has false 9++, but I will say one thing: if Griezmann can't get into the starting 11, Benzema's got no chance. So unfortunately, Benzema's not making it into the starting 11 anytime soon. This is the 86 double that I was talking about, and we actually managed to get Ruben Diaz on the face card of things. And I thought, well, 89, but it's actually 88 this year. I didn't even realise that he's gone down to an 88. And we also get Lindsay Horan in there too. And those two cards will go to helping complete the SBC after this one. The SBC that you're seeing being completed right now is the Di Lorenzo SBC. Excuse me. And he will be our new right back, Giovanni Di Lorenzo. He does seem to be a solid card, and we will look at his face stats and his playstyles and his roles again in a second as you're seeing the footage. But the second player who you will see us complete very shortly is actually Rafael Varane and his SBC, who I thought at first when it came out, I thought I'm not going to complete it because it's too much of a commitment to a player too early in the game cycle. The game's only just been out for a month now over this date, and I'm thinking, do I really want to send so many cards into the SBC heaven to complete Rafael Varane? And I think before I packed Saliba, I probably would have said no. Before I packed Berea, I probably would have said no. But having said that, after packing both of them, I think the answer is just yes. I think it is yes. Like, we will, I thought about it and I thought, I do think it is worth it if we send these cards to the SBC Heaven for Rafael Varane. And as you can see, we completed 3 out of the 4 squads already. It was the biggest squad left, the 88 rated squad for Rafael Varane, and it is a big ask. It's the biggest SBC ask that EA have put out so far, but that is the team that we have submitted to complete Rafael Varane. A few 88s and 90 in there, and a couple of 89s, rounding out with the 86s and 87s, finishing off the squad. And just like that, as easy as it was to start, it's all done. Rafael Varane has been completed, and I was just saying in the original recording that is now lost to time and space, that this could very well, I don't think it will be, but this could very well be Rafael Varane's last card on an FC ever. I do think he's deserving of at least a hero. I do think he qualifies for an icon. I think it would be fair with his accomplishments, mostly at Real Madrid, what he accomplished there, the multiple Champions League wins, the multiple La Liga wins, winning the World Cup with France. Like, I think it's a given that he probably does get an icon card, and it will be deserved. But having said that, you never really know with EA, do you? Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a prime example where he is definitely an icon, but with his trouble with EA, he probably will never get on the game. So you just never know what might pop up and stop someone from getting an icon card or hero card on the game. John Terry as well. John Terry is definitely deserving an icon card. Arguably deserves one definitely over Sol Campbell. An argument could be made about Rio Ferdinand, but Rio Ferdinand definitely deserves his icon card. But basically what I'm saying is, if Rio Ferdinand has an icon card, John Terry should have an icon card as well. And the last thing you're seeing as well is just showing you that we're 925 points away from the 87 by 3. And we'll be completing the rest of that in the other video. So right now you're going to go to the recording that was before this, but after this, if that makes sense. It does in my head. Enjoy.
So this is what I have for now. It's not finalised, but it's the way it stands. We are 32 out of 33 chemistry. Edison remains in goal. The back line is 3 out of 4 players changed. So Di Lorenzo in at right back, Saliba at right centre back, Rafael Varane at left centre back, and DeMarco stays at full back. Declan Rice is back in the team as he has holding ++, and I think the main thing that we were missing, as I mentioned in Fut Champs, was just we weren't defensively sound. So I think having a CDM that's got holding ++ is going to help massively. Al Ryan stays out in the right mid. Hazard, of course, stays at left mid. For now, Haaland and Son remain the strike force. I do think Griezmann over Haaland would be helpful, but we lose too much chemistry and he doesn't fit. Obviously, I could go back to 4-1-2-1-2 and have Foden at cam instead of Berea. I think like it wouldn't be the worst, but I think Berea at CM running back and forth would be insane. It's just, as I mentioned before, it's a shame he doesn't have plus box to box or plus box to box, because half winger plus he's going to end up playing. Although, I suppose it might not be terrible, to be honest. But yeah, Berea comes in at that CM position. Relentless plus I think is going to help. And then Son at right striker remains, and Haaland at left striker. So as we head into the team management, and we just have a little change around. We're going to go into the... how do I do this? Is it a player roles? Yeah, here we go. So Haaland is going to go back to Poacher plus. Our Son is an advanced forward. If we put Berea on half winger plus, and if we have Hazard on inside forward plus with Ala Ryan just probably staying on winger, that's what it looks like with the ball. And Berea just... If it was the other way around... Although, to be honest, it's not the worst thing, because I think Hazard with the ball will move a bit more infield. So if Berea stays out wide, it might not be the worst thing. Declan Rice stays with that holding plus. It's not terrible. DeMarco will stay back, because when we put him on the attacking plus, his stamina flies. And if we have that, then our left side is just... It's way too, it's full up. So I'm going to keep him as a fullback for now. Varane, a no-nonsense centre-back who excels at the basics of defending. Stopper plus, a ball-winning centre-back who will step forward from the defensive line and make tackles. That's not too bad. Having Varane on stopper plus and Saliba on defender plus. Di Lorenzo, wing-back. This player's versatility and stamina allows him to push upfield to support attacks. I don't mind him doing that, to be fair. And then Edison we will have on sweeper keeper. I think that is not too bad. Even if we change Ala Ryan to, let's say, inside forward, that's not too bad. That's almost like it's almost a 5-back kind of, with Rice sitting in the middle of midfield. I don't mind that too much. But I think for now, what's wide playmaker? I think I'm just going to keep him on winger for now. So, look, I don't mind seeing how that goes. I think stamina usage, of course, but he's relentless plus, so it won't really matter too much. I think we're going to keep that tactic as it is for now, and just see how it plays for a few games in rivals, and then we'll play, maybe, hopefully, we qualify our playing champs. But having, what's that? 8 players having a plus, I think, we're doing something right. And you don't want to obsess with it, but I do think pluses are insanely important. Having one with a plus, and then 2 just without any plus at all. We'll see. As roles are important as playstyles, I think they are. And we'll get more into that as the game goes on. But that is it for this episode. So starting off with the champs results, moving into a lot of big players packed, and a lot of big SBCs being concluded, including the Rafael Varane. There are rumours of a hero SBC coming, as we touched on a little bit earlier. So if that does come, you bet that we will get that completed to see if we get a hero that fits the squad. I think one that will fit this squad incredibly well, if we are that lucky, would be Marek Hamšík. I think he will excel in that centre mid role, but we'll have to wait and see when that hero SBC comes first of all, and if we get lucky in it or not. That is going to be the end for today's video, guys. So if you enjoyed it, bit of a longer one, give us a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.